Today, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to hang these free hanging shelves. I actually got them from Amazon. I will put them in my storefront below. And I've decorated a good portion of my house with these types of open shelving. I love them. So, first things first is I needed to take down the previous boring white IKEA shelves. My kitchen's just too white right now. It's like white on white on white, which was really popular a few years ago, but we're going to try to warm things up a little bit. And the first step is these new shelves. The kitchen had been painted since these shelves were hung on the wall, so once I took them off, I had to use the putty to fill in the screw holes, and then I went through and sanded that down, wiped the wall down, and then went ahead and did 2 coats of paint so that we had a fresh start for the new shelves. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is measure your shelf and measure your wall. So my shelves were 24 inches long, but the wall was 26 inches long. So there's going to be an inch on each side. The easiest way is to measure the 26 inches and mark perfectly in the middle of that. Once I had the middle of the wall marked at 13 inches, then I went through with my stud finder to figure out where the studs in this wall were. And this is always the probably most important first step if you're going to hang anything, because you need to figure out where your studs are, because that's going to determine if we're going to use a drywall anchor or if we're going to screw a screw directly into the stud. Once that's done, take the metal bracket that's included with your shelves, put that up against the wall, and then you're going to figure out if you're going into a stud or if you need a drywall anchor. For me, I am only going to be using drywall anchors, so I used a 1/4 inch drill bit and I drilled a hole into each of the spots that I marked. Now, I'm really good at making mistakes first so that I can show you guys what you shouldn't do and remind you to just do it correctly the first time. So for me, I was just in a rush, wasn't thinking much about it, and I used the included plastic drywall anchors. And once I had secured this and put the shelf on the wall, it did not hang straight. And it's because those plastic included drywall anchors are crap. So once I realized it was going to make my shelves hang down and not have the support that they needed, I went through and replaced them. So then the problem becomes that you have plastic drywall anchors in your wall and they're just stuck there. So in order to get those out, one thing that you can do is you can take the screw, screw it back into the drywall anchor there, and then you take your hammer and you gently pull it out, making sure that you're not pushing the hammer through your drywall, because then that's a whole nother project that you have to start. But it pulled it out enough. It didn't pull it out the entire way like a lot of videos show, but I was able to get the hammer behind it and then gently remove that. And I went to the other side and did that as well. So the true key to hanging things effectively in your house is to use these metal anchors. I purchased these forever ago when I was building my Airbnb, and I have used them for everything I've hung in my house, and they're just so much more secure than the plastic ones are. As you can see here, you put it in the previous hole that we have, and you take your screwdriver, and then you just screw it in, and it slowly works its way into the wall, but they are so much more secure, and it makes it so those shelves aren't gonna hunch forward. So then you just put your metal bracket up on the wall, and you secure your screws into the metal drywall anchors that you put in. In order to put your shelf onto the metal brackets, sometimes they won't go directly on. So I found that it is best to go to the side of them and then make sure that they're lined up, because sometimes you might have to move the brackets a little bit so that it will fit snugly. And I've never realized the horrible facial expressions that I make when doing these things until I watched this video back. And I was so happy to see that the metal brackets worked so much better and these shelves are completely straight. This is the final look. I am hoping to keep working on updating my kitchen, so follow along for more.